updates. Good morning, Tobago. Let's go. It's a brand new morning. Rise up to a brand new dawning. As the passion start to rise, the energy fill the skies. I say thanks a favor to wake up and hear me neighbor.
Good morning, and welcome back to Good Morning Tobago right here on Tobago Update. Now, this morning we are talking about all that's happening in cricket and under-16 cricket here in Tobago. Now, we are talking cricket, but not just cricket, but we're talking cricket tourism. And this morning, as we have this conversation, I have online with me Mr. Chris Berry, who is the tour operator for TCA. Good morning, Mr. Berry, and welcome. And he would be joining us this morning by his colleague, Mr. Ted Greig, who is the DMC tour operator here in Tobago. Good morning, guys, and welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Now, it's a pleasure to have you here. And as I said in the introduction, it's not just all about cricket, but we're talking about cricket and the combination of cricket and sport tourism. Tell us a bit about the Tobago International Under-16 tournament that's going to be happening here on the island, when it's going to be, and what can persons really look forward to with this tournament?
Hi. So, I met with Mr. Augustine in November last year at the World Travel Market, which is an international trade show. I've run cricket tours and tournaments across the world for the last 8-10 years. And I came to Mr. Augustine with a proposal that we were looking to run an international tournament somewhere in the Caribbean, with the idea that we bring in 10 or 12 teams to the country where they come from across the globe to compete against each other, and discuss the idea of bringing it to Tobago, which he was very fond of, and decided that he would like to look at that opportunity and see if we could take it further. In the interim, we so once we got the go-ahead from himself and the rest of the cabinet, we've been working with EIDCOT to make the tournament happen, basically. It's an under-16 tournament. We've got teams from Australia, the US, the UAE, the UK, we've got the Canadian international team and potentially the Swiss international teams all coming to Tobago to compete against one another.
Right. And what are the local teams that would be a part of the tournament? Who are the local teams that
We're working with the Tobago Cricket Association, so Mr. Kerwin John there, who is already starting work on putting a team together from Tobago, and we'll also be looking to have a team from Trinidad. There's potential of a couple of teams from the Caribbean, so we're talking to a couple of teams from Barbados who are keen to come as well. But at the moment, locally, it's Tobago and Trinidad both having separate teams.
Okay, and in the past, when you have facilitated this tournament, what type of numbers do you usually look at in terms of persons who would patronize the tournament?
Well, this is our first international tournament. We've run tournaments in the UK for quite a number of years. We have our own academy in the UK, and we've had international tournaments over here. A typical tournament like this, so we're talking about bringing in 10 teams. It's going to be a 12-team tournament, 10 teams from overseas, each team bringing 14 players and 2 staff. So that's 160 playing and staff members. And then we'd be looking at also bringing, because of the age group, we're also looking to bring in supporters. So on average, if we brought in about 1.5 supporters per player, we're looking at maybe another 200 plus supporters coming into the country. So we're hoping for around about 300 to 400 in total coming in for an 11-night tournament.
partnered with some Tobago tour operators, and that's why we have Mr. Greig on the line. Tell us about this partnership a bit, Mr. Greig.
Thank you again for having us on set this morning. Of course, I'm working together closely with Chris on the ground in Tobago. I would have also met with him in the UK. And putting this together would require some structure in place. And our involvement with this initiative is going to be handling and coordinating all the airport logistics, the hotel logistics, the transfers. And of course, we're going to also entertain some excursion activities so that they can have a Tobago experience. So certainly with our involvement, we expect to ensure that the success of this initiative comes to fruition. And we are, in fact, looking forward. We are ready at this stage, and we're always ready and try to be on top of our game and put forward a good service to our visitors coming in. So we're excited. Chris is in the UK. I am here. We're going to be coordinating pretty often. Of course, working together with his team and our team on the ground with the Tobago Cricket Association, and of course, together with the Tobago House of Assembly and their resources to ensure that this initiative be quite successful for next year.
Right, and I'm guessing that there's a lot of promotion that is going to go into this tournament. It's going to be, from my understanding, next year, 2025, from the 4th to the 15th of July. So tell us about that, Mr. Berry.
Yeah. So in terms of our promotion, we're obviously very much deep into recruiting teams at the moment. We're quite confident that we've got the 10 teams that we're inviting. We've actually got some on standby at the moment while we're waiting for the initial teams to sign the contract. Once those teams come in, we will be looking to fly over from the 4th to the 15th. We won't be doing a huge amount of promotion ourselves in terms of promoting the tournament on the island. Hopefully that's something the sports division will be doing. I know they're working hard to get the ground staff, the support staff to come and sort of help manage games and run grounds. And I know that, one of the reasons we chose Tobago was the successful Commonwealth Junior Game or Junior Commonwealth Games that were hosted there. And we know that was very successful. You had a huge amount of people turning up, watching games. You had lots of volunteer staff helping out. And we hope that, through what we're doing, we'll sort of still get that. We'll still get as much promotion and as many visitors coming to watch from Tobago as we can. One of the big things we're doing is, sorry, I've lost my train now.
No, that's fine. Maybe I can step in right here. There are a lot of cricket supporters, both in Tobago and in Trinidad, but we have a larger demographic in Trinidad of avid cricket supporters. So would the tournament also be targeting individuals from Trinidad to come to Tobago as well and be a part of that tournament? Additionally, when we have a number of those big cricket tournaments in Trinidad, we see a number of huge corporate sponsors that jump on board and are there to give the financial support that is needed. So has your team began those conversations to get those local corporate sponsors?
Well, we're working with the Tobago House of Assembly, EADCOT, and the sports department, and all of the sponsorship rights are up to them. So we're not responsible for sponsorship of the competition itself, and we don't make any money out of the sponsorship. So that's basically down to the guys over there to be starting those conversations, which I believe they have. One of the big areas that one of the differences that we can offer to other sort of sports things that go on is that we'll be live streaming all of our tournaments worldwide. And within each stream, there's opportunities for sponsorships. So there's, on the screens. It'll be live scores with stats, etc., in between innings, and there's lots of different opportunities for sponsors to get involved, take up those positions, as well as being on-ground sponsors, so taking up positions at grounds. It's at the end of the day, it's an age group tournament, so it's not seniors playing. These guys are going to be 15, 16 years old. We hope to get as many people coming to watch as possible, especially towards the latter stage of the competition. And if anyone from Trinidad wants to come, that would be fantastic. It's obviously not too far to get over. And the standard of cricket is going to be really good. Like I said earlier, we've got teams like the Canadian national team. We've got some of the biggest academies in the world from the UK. We've got some schools from the UK as well.
All right, excellent. And Mr. Greig, tell us about why you think this type of partnership is important, from your perspective for sports tourism on the island.
Well, certainly this certainly will augur well for Tobago from a sports tourism initiative, because apart from this cricket tournament coming as a sporting activity, you would in fact have other spin-offs. For example, the transportation person is going to be involved. You're going to have suppliers for the excursion activities going to be involved. You have the hotels going to be involved. And certainly there are going to be some spin-off in terms of economic benefit coming back to them. So I think this initiative would augur well for Tobago. And I certainly think that with all the sponsorships coming in terms of the viewership from what Chris just spoke about, and this is just going to be the first of its kind in Tobago. The intention, of course, is to have some ongoing activities for some years ahead to come. And certainly with the kind of viewership, once this is broadcasting or televised or to the rest of the world, I think Tobago stands to benefit significantly. The economic benefits coming back to the island just from this event that's starting would go well for the future. So this is why I'm partnering with Chris and his team. With these kind of numbers coming in, of course, we want to bring some structure and proper management to this event. Our team, like I said, is ready to participate and to facilitate. Chris and work closely with him, as we've done in the past with some other tour operators. I think this certainly will do well, and we're excited going forward. And we hope that Tobago will come out and support this. My plan basically is to come back to you guys again, and perhaps the other media people as the time progresses and get closer, so we can get the word out, get Tobago's patronage involved, get the players and the teams from Tobago, which Kerwin is responsible for, and to ensure that this is a success, because we intend to ensure that Tobago continues to be in the limelight and the spotlight where tourism is concerned.
Excellent. Well, you heard it here, guys. In 2025, we are expecting to see a very interesting international cricket tournament happening here on the island of Tobago, with teams from all over the world being a part of that and helping to boost sports tourism right here on the island. Now, that is going to take place from the 4th of July to the 15th of July 2025. And so we want to thank you guys so much for coming on this morning and giving us all the information and details regarding that. And Mr. Berry, if there's anything else you want to add before we round up this morning's discussion, this would be your time to do so.
Yeah, there's a couple of things. Firstly, one of the aims of this tournament from the Tobago side is we're hoping to really I spent 11 nights over there in August and absolutely fell in love with the country. I think it's absolutely beautiful. And one of the aims of the tournament is to utilize grounds across the country so that supporters are coming in, seeing places like Speyside, Plymouth, Roxburgh. They see the whole island. Maria as well, we're looking at using as one of our main grounds, and I want them to be able to see the island at its best, as I did in August. It's a fabulous place, and working with people like Kerwin, we're really trying to make sure that people see the value of cricket. One of the things that we're trying to build over the next few years is to increase the number of private schools from the UK coming on the tournament. And with that, you get the opportunity for local players to take up places within UK private schools on scholarships. So if you have outstanding players who potentially a school comes and sees and thinks, right, we would like that player to come to our school, they can come over. They generally get their schooling tuition paid for, which is a huge amount of money at some of these schools, and they get the opportunity to be educated in the UK through cricket. And that's one of the key areas we really want to build. Currently in the UK, there's probably 30 plus children from Barbados on cricket scholarships at these private schools, and hopefully Tobago kids can show their skills and take up some of these slots that are currently going elsewhere.
That hopefully you have some universities that are going to be, some schools that are going to be present there to hopefully offer some of those scholarships.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, that's what we like to hear. So we want to thank you guys so much for coming on this morning and giving us all that information. And we look forward to a successful cricket tournament for the Under-16s in 2025. Guys, we're going to take a quick break right here. We're going to be back right after this. See you soon.
Passion start to rise.